What is up, Pioneer Stormtroopers? Bryant Cook here, and the deck list we're playing today was inspired by my video that I recorded last night, which was Modern Twiddle Storm. I was really impressed with Wishclaw Talisman and its ability to find Lotus Field. And I was thinking about Pioneer and how I haven't recorded a video for you all in about 2 weeks. I apologize. But I started to wonder, I wonder if Wishclaw Talisman could work in Pioneer. The issue with this deck is often that you lose games where you don't find Lotus. Well, with Wishclaw Talisman and Sylvan Scrying, you find Lotus every game. That's the idea behind this. So we are bug, not rug, but bug. And Wishclaw Talisman, you find Lotus, you find stage, and it works pretty smoothly. Um, Yeah, so the trade off with this list is that you don't have Baral, which means that this deck makes less mana over the course of a game. And that's something that weighed in my head pretty heavily. We don't have Willow Havens either. Those slots would be Wishclaw Talismans. So we are better at finding our Lotus, which is pretty crucial. So I was thinking about this and how we can somehow mitigate this effect of, just less mana overall because you have the four strings, the four Vizier, and Pour that make mana, but you don't make as much mana. So I was thinking about this and I came up with the conclusion that we probably need Omniscience or some way to access Omniscience. Well, if we're already in black, Mastermind's acquisition seems really good. I'm not a big fan of Fae, but the fact that acquisition can get combo pieces as well is very impressive. So if for some reason you still need a Thespian Sage or a Lotus Field, Masterminds has your back. And then on top of that, it can get Omniscience or it can get the main deck Pier. It's very flexible, which I do value quite a bit. It can also get Ugin or Sphinx of the Final Word, Thought Distortion. So I'm really big fan of this Mastermind's acquisition, but mostly the Wishclaw Talisman. So if you've been watching my videos, you'll notice that I've been running the Rug Triome, Ketria Triome, recently as a 4 of because we're playing a bunch of those red cards. I can just bring up the list. So we are running Valakut Awakening and Burgi and Angers and a bunch of other things. Well, we just made the swap to 4 Zagoth Triome, effectively the same thing. But then we lost the Bark Channel Pathway for Blooming Marsh. To help support turn 2 Wishclaw Talisman to make it more consistent. I am a little bit worried about not hitting blue mana, but we still have 4 Triomes. I just want to see how this goes. If it's bad, it's bad, and I'll accept it. But I think that this list could have a lot of potential. And what's really nice about Wishclaw Talisman, unlike Sylvan Scrying, is if you already have your land combo, if you have your Tron, it's not a dead card. It actively helps you win on the combo turn, where Sylvan Scrying's kind of a blank. So I'm a big fan of Wishclaw in that aspect. Balaged Recovery does get a little bit worse without Baral. You don't get to do the Cabal ritual that I often reference with having Baral strings, Balaged back strings make 3 mana. That's gone. Balaged is back to just making 1 mana with hidden strings. And then you're 1 Peer into the Abyss. The fact that you can just tutor this up at will with Wishclaw Talisman and you don't draw multiples clogging up your hand, I'm a really big fan of that. Because I don't ever really want to draw Peer into the Abyss until I'm already winning. And this just makes that very consistent because now you can just tutor up the 1 of, which is just beautiful. In the board, we do have the Approach. It's a trade-off with this list, if I'm being honest. You effectively still have 2 main deck win cons, except this one's very flexible. I think at this point I actually like Aetherflux Reservoir more than I like Approach, especially in a list that makes less mana. Reservoir is better there. No Niv Mizzet. I've been a little bit underwhelmed by Niv recently, so I am trying for Sphinx. I want to see how that goes. Really good against the blue-black control deck as well. Fatal Push, probably the best removal spell in Pioneer. The fact that it kills Eidolon very cheaply, I'm a big fan of. And then our Drown in Sorrow, effectively the poor person's Anger of the Gods. Similar effect, but in our colors. You also get the Scry. I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I couldn't think of a better sweeper to run. I didn't really want to run Extinction. I didn't want to play that, so Drown in Sorrow makes a little bit more sense to me. Thought Distortion is obviously a very powerful card, especially when control decks like blue-black are the most popular decks in the format, and we can hardcast it without Lotus Field. Wilt and Ugin, that wraps up the main deck. So this is the list we'll be playing today, and if you appreciate this deck tech and this brewing idea, please throw me a subscribe. Right now we're about 100 subscribers away from our monthly goal of 3,000 subscribers. Would mean a lot. And if you're already subscribed, make sure to comment down below, give this video a like. I would greatly appreciate that. And if you would like to show your support another way, you can always submit a donation deck, or you can pick up something at theepicstorm.com/shop. I would be appreciative of both those things. Obviously, that's not obligated, but I just hope that you like this video. And yeah, I also want to just crush. I love Wishclaw Talisman. I'm excited to play it in every format that I can. But yeah, hopefully this video is fun, and hopefully Wishclaw overperforms. Don't go anywhere. Round number 1 is coming up in just a second. Round number 1, we're on the draw. We've opened up a pretty solid hand. We have the Lotus Combo with the Sylvan Scrying, and we have a Grazer to block. This hand just needs action. I think I'm going to keep this, especially when we have 4 Wishclaw Talismans in our deck to find Peer into the Abyss. Okay. Mono green is not a very good matchup for us if they're playing that. I mean, we've opened up a very good hand. If we're ever going to beat mono green. Okay, so they're on Winota, which is also a bad matchup. But hopefully double Grazer helps there. This is actually a pretty awful matchup. That wasn't bad. So we need to hope that they don't have Winona pretty much. That's how we win this. Come on. There you go. Like, our draw couldn't be any better unless we draw Vizier into Pour over the pages next turn. Okay, well, they have Winona. We're in trouble. Maybe they don't. Well, if they have Winona next turn, we're in trouble too. Charming Prince Scries here. One on top, one on the bottom. So they probably found it. This was so close to being a turn 3 kill. The best thing, unfortunately, we can do is copy and pass. Just being on the draw this game, I think, is going to cost us. We have to live next turn through Winona. There she is. Okay, we're probably dead. What are the odds of 4 misses? This is just such a bad matchup, too. Oh, I blocked the wrong creature. I was supposed to block this. Well, I guess I was never going to live anyway. But I was supposed to block the other 4/4. That's disappointing that we got paired against this round one. I guess I can bring in like pushes to slow them down. And our hand was good. Like, it's tough to complain. Our hand was very, very good. I don't think Drown's actually good here. I'm probably going to shave on 2 planning. Try this. Remember, while you're comboing, the best way to keep track of your mana and storm count is the mini token pack from the epicstorm.com/shop. 54 tokens, $12, and it's a great value. Alright, on the play for the second game. Unfortunately, we can't keep that. It's so close. This is very good. We can keep this. Opponent is also taking a mulligan. So next turn I have the decision on whether or not to play Stage into Vizier or just to play Lotus Field. We need action, so I think the draw on this Vizier is going to be pretty important. So I'm just going to play Field, I believe. Yeah. Alright. I've tried a number of things to make this matchup better. Oh, should I have expected that? I guess we have Fatal Pushes, but I didn't know that Winota played Archon. That's just brutal. Makes these Drown in Sorrows look really bad. Or Drown in Sorrows. Is that common now? Winota is not even on the front page of Goldfish, so if we're getting paired into it, that's just bad luck. The lists I'm seeing for Winota don't have Archon on the board. So this person, while having a terrific matchup, just wanted to crush me. So we have 2 push that are unreliable because they need something to go to the graveyard. And a blast zone. Well, there's the push. So maybe... I guess technically we have an out here. If for somehow they play like the double damage creature or something, and I block, then I can kill the Archon. Come on, kill my grazer. Alright, I don't want to give away that I have push in hand, so I'm going to add a blue here. If they were like mega big brained and then they like stomped my grazer, like, sure. I think I'm just going to pass. So on their end step, we could cast this Dig Through Time as well. Costs 8 minus 3, so 5 mana. If we try to copy, we only have 4, so I could cycle into Dig. That's an option. So they're going to get 4 triggers here. We're probably dead. No whammies. Alright, so I can block Winota right now. I think we're in this. Can't believe we got to revolt away at Archon of Emeria. Alright, and now you can actually dig through time as well. Peer. Let's think about this. Right now we have 10 mana. Wishclaw would be minus 3 for 7 floating. I think Vizier Claw actually does it. So that's 12 mana. You need 7 to cast Peer. 10, and then that gives us 2 floating. I guess it doesn't hurt to play Blast Zone. Okay. Those draws were not that good, but that's fine. Now we go get Peer. Yeah, Peer's the line. I was just trying to think if Masterminds into Omni works, and it doesn't. And apparently I have one more... Oh, it's because I drew the land for turn. Alright, so we have 3 mana floating. Hopefully we draw some strings here. Wish my opponent would have 6. Is it rude to ask my opponent to have 6 here? I tried to click 2 for no, and then I got nervous that I might have done F2 through my turn, so I wanted to turn off the auto yields. Okay, so we have not drawn the reservoir. $13 cards left in deck. It's got to be in here now, right? Nope. I guess technically I can dig for it. Alright, so this is going to be spell number 9, so this is going to gain 9 life. I'm afraid to click 2 for now. I'm going to have to change my no to like 4. Guess I can dig again. Why not? I just like that Reservoir doesn't take up a lot of mana to win, unlike the Approach win. And we're going to draw like pretty much our entire deck here, which is kind of cool. Aetherflux Reservoir is totally a Storm card. Like that card has Storm on it, they just worded it weird. Alright, so we're at 60. I can just kill them. Alright, going into game 3 against Winota. Yeah, the drowns here are kind of embarrassing. If you know of a better card that I could run, please let me know. This is the best I could come up with while brainstorming up this deck list, but here, obviously, it's not great. And the fact that it can't kill Archon of Emeria is just, oh. Yeah. So it's nice that we do have Lotus Field to trigger push, just to keep that in the back of your head. That is something we can do. And I'm just going to resubmit. Alright, on the draw in a brutal matchup. But this hand seems fine, but a little bit slow. We do have Fatal Push to slow the game down a little. And our opponent kept 7, which is scary. Alright, so we don't need to cast this Sylvan Scrying anymore for a land because we drew the Balagad. Next turn, we're definitely looking to Fatal Push away that Llanowar Elf. No, that's not a good sign. So they're going to have Winota next turn regardless. I don't know if I should even bother pushing. This is just a really good draw for our opponent, assuming that they have the Winota. Okay, well that makes me look dumb for not using Fatal Push. Alright, they've already used their mana. I'm not going to Fatal Push, just in case they do draw Archon. What I can do here, though, is I can go get Blast Zone. Our best draw on our next turn is Pour. Because right now we actually have Vizier into strings to make sure that we have 2 untapped Lotuses next turn, but we need a payoff. And the best way to start doing that is Pour over the pages. Or Pour over pages. So they played a Llanowar Elf into our Blast Zone. So we're taking 8 here, going to 12. So the issue that I see here is that even if I take this line, I can't win. So I think it's best to just Blast Zone. And hope that next turn we draw a Pour. Alright, so now they're representing lethal next turn, and we're going to have to go for it. So it's going to be a close one. We need to draw Pour, maybe Dig. But I don't think the strategic planning will do on its own. Alright. Come on, deck. Carry me. So, pour. Let's see what it draws. I don't think that's good enough. We don't need the Sylvan Scrying, so I can get rid of that. Alright, so we have 7 mana. I cannot Wishclaw for Pour. That's an 8 mana line. So is Balagad back Pour. So I think that means that one of the better things that I can do this turn is, let's say, green here. And I can strategic planning. And this gives me the backup of play Wishclaw, push Grazer. These are all bad. I guess I take the extra push. I think I'm dead. Oh, that sucks. I was like, what if I got crafty and fatal push my own Grazer and then push the Kenrith? And that would work, but then we die to these. Because that becomes a 4 and then 2. If we have one more life. I just have to pass and die. My opponent would have to mess up in order for me to win this. Me not using that fatal push on turn 2 might have cost us this game. It didn't make sense though. Like, am I supposed to play around like them revealing Kenrith? All right. So, what's that I'm looking at doesn't even play this card anymore. Yeah, this isn't in the last 3 lists. 4 lists. Although, okay, sorry, there's 1 in the 4th list. So, I don't think I'm supposed to try to push to play around a 1 of. That math doesn't add up. Unfortunately, we lost round number 1, but it was actually closer than I expected for how bad of a matchup this is. So I'll take that. 4 more rounds coming. Let's see how they go. Round number 2. We're on the draw again, and we have a hand that finds a Lotus. So we're going to try this out. Okay. Well, Field of Ruin is pretty good against me considering I don't play basics. We can use Masterminds here to go find stage after playing Lotus next turn. Well, in 2 turns. Next turn we play Lotus, turn after that. You play Blast Zone acquisition for Thespian stage. Are they trying to play like Pioneer Lantern? Is that what's going on here? All right. Well, we have the Blast Zone. And in theory, we could try to go off using Vizier and Lotus Field, but I'm not a big fan of that. Well, they name Vizier. Alright, I cannot cycle. I just wanted to make sure. They also could have named Reservoir, but I guess they didn't want to do that. Let's go get stage. I think this is supposed to be like Pioneer Lantern. Thanks for showing up late, Scrying. So I can Hidden Strings into Pour here. And then I could cast Pier with no mana floating and draw a bunch of cards, but is that worth it? I think I'm just going to pass. In theory, I could have cast Sylvan Scrying this turn had I planned ahead, but I don't think that's going to end up mattering. That's like, it pulls a land out of your deck, I guess. Like, cool. Alright, so they blew up our zone. We will not be able to cycle Viziers this game, is what they're telling us. I don't think I'm going to be able to win this turn, but it doesn't hurt to cast some spells. Sure. So we're going to end up passing this turn. Or I have 8 mana. I could play 2 Viziers into Sylvan Scrying and then not be able to win. Because we would gain 4, 5, 6, which is 15 life. Yeah, that's not enough. So instead, we're just going to peer. And let's go to clean up. I want to keep a few Balageds because if need be, we can get back Masterminds or the Blast Zone. Probably don't need 3 digs. Or 3 Balageds. All right. This is a weird deck that we're facing. All right. Nope. I can still barely get that back. Let's get back our Reservoir. We still have 1 Hidden String still left in the deck. Alright, let's see if we can draw the last 17-ish cards of our deck. I really do love that the mana requirement on Aetherflux is just so low. Might as well cast Dig. Probably not a good idea to exile both Masterminds and Blast Zone because in theory it could leave me dead. But let's make it a little exciting. Why not? It's definitely not proper play, but I'm just lazy and I'm not going to change it. Alright, so now we have lethal. Still haven't really got to use Wishclaw that much. We did get to use it to find Pier once. Alright, so we've taken game number 1 over some sort of lantern-ish control deck. Like, it's not really... It doesn't have lanterns in it, but it's the same style of deck. These wilts seem pretty good. And I like that you can take out planties now. There's like a sideboard strategy because you have all these tutors in your deck to just find the bombs. Probably also just like shave a few grazers. Those don't seem super crucial here. Yeah, let's do this. Why not? Friendly reminder, if you want to see your combo deck here on the Epic Storm YouTube channel, you can always submit a donation deck. We have 3 different tiers for you to choose from. The first tier, I just play your deck and make suggestions after. The second tier, you get a percentage off of merchandise from the epicstorm.com /shop. I work with you to make your deck better. I'll play your deck and then you get suggestions at the end. And then for the third tier, you can join me here on this YouTube channel. You can be here talking about why you have certain cards in your deck, card choices, strategies, etc. We get into the nitty-gritty of deck building all the way down to sideboard mapping, and you get an even larger percentage off of the Epic Storm merchandise. So that is the Epic tier if you're interested in that. Alright, game 2. Our opponent's taking a mulligan. This seems fine to me. I'm going to try this out. Unfortunately, Grazer's a little bit awkward with our lands. So Balaged cannot come into play off of Grazer, and you can't play Lotus on turn 1. So what we're looking to do here is start on Balaged. Turn 2, play Blooming Marsh, Grazer into Lotus Field. This is the sort of deck that could have Metallic Rebuke. Another Blooming Marsh. The mana doesn't seem that bad so far, which is a concern that I had before I began recording. Like, so far, it seems like the mana is aligning fairly well. It'll be interesting to see what they take here. Wilt. I wonder what that means. Now we can dig. Yikes. That's a terrific dig. I don't know why I said yikes. Should have had a more ecstatic sound effect. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to make up one now. But yikes was, that was a good yikes, not a bad yikes. Oh no, not our dig. Could try to win right now. Although I think it's probably better to play around Dispute if I can. I'm just going to pass. I wonder if our opponent with the name of Tezzey is just like a really big Tezzerator fan or something, and that's why they're playing this. Okay. So I also sort of wonder if they're holding open trophy. Which is something they could certainly be doing. Things are going well so far. I like to not cast Pure if I don't have to, just because it does set us back on life. Almost there. Get back poor, because why not? Drawing cards is fun. And our opponent's had enough. Alright, so we won round number 2. We are now 1-1. Round number 3 will be coming up in just a second. Maybe in that round we'll get to cast a few more copies of Wishclaw Talisman. Hey there, welcome to round number 3. We're on the Dragon Sayo. As of last week, they were on Lotus Field combo as well. So it's interesting because Grazer is one of the best cards in the matchup. We have a guaranteed Lotus. I think we're supposed to keep this even though this hand isn't exactly stellar. You do get to have a turn 2 Lotus Field. You don't have stage. Maybe they're not on Lotus, or they're secretly somehow playing the same list as us. Who knows? Or realistically, they've probably switched off. Alright, so they're probably on Niptolite. I don't mind that draw. That gets stage. Okay, so next turn what we can do is cycle Vizier, on our Lotus Field to make a mana, play Sylvan Scrying, play Stage Copy. Ooh, Thought Erasure is going to stop that. I mean, there's really two picks here. You can choose Sylvan Scrying and shut me off of getting stage, or you can take Pour and plan for the longer game. I think Sylvan Scrying is probably the correct pick, because I'm more likely to win if I have my Tron assembled. It looks like our opponent agrees. Interesting. I think I'm going to cycle a Vizier here. It's pretty free. I'm going to float green just in case I hit another Sylvan Scrying. And I did not. I mean, these technically do go get stage. A little awkward, though, that we just blanked on even a land there. I mean, I could have taken the Triome, I suppose. But the fact that we missed the land drop kind of hurts. Okay, so cycle, and I can play Wishclaw right now, but part of me wonders if I should just dig. Let's save this for the combo turn. I feel like we're pretty likely to hit a stage off this. We did not. I'm just making poor decisions all over, it would seem like. And I'm just going to pass. I don't really want to give them an untapped Wishclaw. Like, you can go get stage here, but you should be able to just like do it all in one swift motion most likely. Like, if this were earlier on in the game, I'd be more willing to... Okay. I'd be more willing to give it to them. Because, like, right now, they're a single mana away from Bring to Light. And I don't really want to give them tutors for things like Slaughter Games or whatever. We're also almost to the point where we can naturally just have another Lotus the hard way. That's an Omnath. So they can bring the light here. They can also cast Niv-Mizzet. Really depends on what they want to do. Come on, let's go. I'm not seeing any thought erasures in like normal Niv Delete lists, so they might not be on like a stock Niv Delete deck. Or they just have like one random thought erasure. Alright, so they've been tanking on what to do with this 5 mana for like 3 minutes. Alright, while our opponent's deep in the tank, open up that description, give all of our social channels a like, follow, etc. I would greatly appreciate that. And our opponent has figured out how to cast Niv-Mizzet. Holy shit, it's finally happened. Wow, I can't believe they figured out with 5 different colors of mana they could cast it. That's remarkable. It's almost like the deck is built to do that. Alright, so we found Lotus, or way to go get scrying. Growth Spiral, so they found Brain Delight too. Unfortunately, if they have these Slaughter games in their deck, we're in trouble. I don't see any, well, I don't think I saw any Growth Spirals in stock Niv Delete lists. I can check, though. Yeah, it looks like our opponent's sort of just doing their own thing, which is, you know, always welcome. But I'm not seeing too much of what they're trying to do in lists that are published. So I'm not seeing Thought Erasure or Growth Spirals, those sort of things. So they have a bunch of mana. They can cast a essentially free Brain Delight here. Yep. Bad news when they cast it for 4. Oh, it's just the thought erasure? Sure. So they must not be playing Slaughter games. Interesting that they went after strategic planning. I think I know what that means, but I'm not going to say it out loud. Yep. Okay, well, I guess they do have a Slaughter games. I was thinking that they were going to go get a Notion Thief there, but Slaughter games is also very good. We can still win this game. We do have the one of Peer that we can get with Wishclaw Talisman. That's, you know, still something that we can do. We have Masterminds. And I'm just going to take this opportunity to chump block a dragon while I can. Come on, peer into the abyss. Boom! Hit the one of. You know, I've always said Magic is a skill game, and it remains true, clearly. Lucktown. Get wrecked. Alright, so we haven't quite won yet, but we're almost there. Bunch of digs. So we're at 9 mana right now. We need 14. That's the magic number. We're 1 hidden strings down. I'm sorry, we're 2 hidden strings down. So I can play this as an untapped land. That brings us up to 10. Hidden strings Balagad. Okay. So right now we have a so this is 12. This Balagad represents mana number 13. Right now we're 1 mana away. I think I'm just supposed to dig again. Did not hit. That said, Reservoir is still really good. This might be a win. So if I play Reservoir right now, I'm a mana short of what I want to do. So let's get back strings. Because now we can play this. I don't know how many and how many spells I've actually played this turn, but it's got to be a bunch. So 9. Now we can barely get back strings, which will be 10. At this point, like, every spell is just like so much life. All right. The last hidden strings. Shoot him for 50. Woo woo. Pier was pretty clutch right there. Drawing the one of exactly when you need it. Love to see it. Probably want the disputes here. I don't know how much I love the grazers. Could like board and fatal push for what's it called? Notion Thief. I don't love that though. I think the best thing to do is honestly just like leave 2 grazer in the deck. So that's what I'm going to do. Remember, if you want to support this content, you can always go to theepicstorm.com/shop. Storm 20 baseball tee, the pint glass, the token packs, they're all great buys. I would highly recommend all of them. All right, game number 2 on the draw. Unfortunately, this is not a keep. We need to ship it. Okay, deck. I mean, do I love this hand? No, but like it could theoretically win. Maybe I could have kept Pier over the dig. I was a little bit worried that we saw a bunch of thought erasures and I didn't want it being discarded. And there it is. Alright, so current plan is to play Wishclaw next turn. We want to draw a land so that way this Wishclaw represents Pier. There's our land. Our best draw next turn would be one of the two grazers, because that would allow us to get Lotus Field in under something like Slaughter Games or Unmourned Ego. But I really don't want to have to sacrifice the Thespian stage, so I'm going to play out Triome here. And Claw was fine. A little bit worried about pass with 4 untapped mana means. I think it means a card that I will not be happy to see. Okay. Not the card that I was worried about. I would love to just see like a Niv Mizzet or an Omnath right here. I guess it'd be tough for them to cast. They would need an untapped red. Okay, well that's an untapped red. Let's see Niv Mizzet. That's what I want to see here. Okay, not what I wanted to see. It'll be interesting to see what they pick here. Damn it, that is the card that I didn't want to see last turn. Fuck. Bad draw. We were in a bad spot. I guess I'm supposed to board in Fatal Push, even though I don't think Push is that great against Notion Thief. I want to find Blast Zone at this point. Maybe I should board and Drown in Sorrow for game 3 if there is one. Just to hit this Notion Thief. Yeah, we just can't do anything. I also, I don't think... Is that card Pioneer legal? I feel like I should look it up before opening up my mouth. It is legal in Pioneer. Maybe Collective Brutality is a card we could look into. Seems like it would be pretty good in this matchup. Killing Notion Thief, getting Bring to Light. Good against mono red. Maybe that would be better than these sort of effects. And then it's not embarrassing in these matchups. It can even come in against blue-black. Is like a... Yeah, I think I like that idea. Alright, I'm leaving 2 mana open because this way if I find Sylvan Scrying, I have a way of going to go get... That hurt. Alright, let's... Actually, no. They're low on clock. I'm going to make them attack me. That way they can't tank for 3 minutes on whether or not they want to add mana with Omnath. But we're effectively dead at this point. I do like the Collector Brutality idea, though. I think that card's actually perfect for our sideboard. I guess I can just go get Blast Zone. I mean, they have lethal. Let's see what's in our deck. I don't think I have any outs here. I could Reservoir and try to gain life. Alright, let's just go to the next game. Let's try that out. That's interesting. An out we did have that, I mean, we were never really in a position to do it, but in theory we could have gone Wishclaw for Masterminds into Omniscience, and then like Balaged back dig. That could have been a way of winning that game. Do I want to board in Sphinx? We saw Mystical. Yeah, I want to board in Sphinx. It also blocks. Sure. See if we can find Lotus off this planning. So right now my plan next turn is I'm just going to play Balgan and pass. I actually like this as a draw because next turn I'm tapping out to play Lotus Field, and that would be a good window for them to slam an Ocean Thief, and now then we would have Drown in Sorrow. We could also next turn just jam Sphinx to the final word. I would really like an untapped land though, because then I could cycle Vizier and have Mystical Dispute back up in case they try to play a dragon or something. They could play Omnath right now. That could be something that they're considering is like, do they leave up counter magic or do they play Omnath? Well, that doesn't cast Omnath. Blue, green. Can't. I don't think they can cast Omnath. Their mana doesn't work. Yeah, our opponent just realized the same thing. Alright, so I am tapping out to play Sphinx here. I wonder if next turn, if I should just like double Balged back, I could get poor teachings, or not teachings, mystical dispute. Alright, well now they can play a dragon. Yep, there it is. So all they got was Notion Thief. Good to know. This is really tempting. Like, that sort of draw says, like, hey, you should go for it. I'm going to get rid of the drown. Like, I know that our opponent got the thief back, but I think we're supposed to try to jam. Okay. I don't know what that means. So we have 11 mana right now. I think I want double pour more than I want hidden strings. Okay, so we have 12 mana. That's enough to play Ugin. 13's the real magic number, because that number gets you to Omniscience, and then this is all, easy breezy. But I think I'm supposed to just go get Ugin. Boom! Ugin coming up clutch. So I did feel a little bit this game the fear of not having Brawl in my deck. Um, I don't know. The claws, they're fine, but the thing is, they're the same thing as a Balaget on the combo turn. They're 3 mana for pour, or 3 mana to go get hidden strings. Um, so technically, these make a mana, which I should have considered. Because we could have played Omniscience there, which is something that I just realized. So maybe they're a little bit better than I thought, because you can always cycle for another hidden strings. That's interesting. I'm going to have to remember that for the last 2 matches. Don't go anywhere. I'm sure that we're going to crush. All right, round number 4. We are on the play. Something different. It's kind of new, right? Okay. This seems fine enough. We can try this. Opponent reveals Yorion. Likely Niv Delight. We have Lotus the hard way this game. We can just, play enough lands to have double Lotus. And then look at this Wishclaw Talisman as a possible peer. I suppose that they could also be on the, what is it called? The Fires of Invention deck. Yeah, this might just be fires. I don't know if I've played that deck or faced that deck since the new enchantment came out. I've been told it made the deck a lot better. I just haven't faced it. It's not on the front page of Goldfish. It's not listed on Goldfish at all. Oh, there it is. Sorry. That was a bold-faced lie. All right, so yeah. So they could sacrifice this Omen of the Sea to Enigmatic Incarnation. I can't say that word. And then go get a 3, which could be like a Sin Collector, Apparition, a bunch of different things. That's kind of cool. Okay. I'm just going to cycle this. I think the right play here is actually to just cast Dig and Pass. Because next turn, I was like, well, I can cycle and like maybe go find stage, but like we don't need to find stage. We have another Lotus. I'm like not super familiar with this deck, so I'm like really worried, and I'm not sure if I actually should be. Although this card isn't in the list that I'm looking at, if it's the same deck that I think that it is. There's like a cat token deck. I don't know what's going on here. Alright, so first things, let's float some mana. And it's worth noting, if you wanted to, you could double tutor with Wishclaw the same way that you do in Modern with Vizier. You can't do it with Hidden Strings, but you can with Vizier. If you wanted to activate, untap it with Vizier, then activate it again, that is a possibility. Okay, so if we activate this, Probably pretty free to just make one more mana right now. Just in case things get a little dicey after. Alright, so we have 11 mana. This Pier. It's going to leave 4 floating, which is a decent amount. We're drawing 20 cards. Alright, so we drew 2 hidden strings, which isn't bad. Alright, now we can pour. And at this point, we're just trying to hit the reservoir. I could just go trigger for it. But where's the fun in that? Alright, so I have 10 mana floating. I think I can also just go get Omniscience. Make this super easy. I mean, I don't think I actually need to. Like, there's a bunch of different ways to skin a cat here. But I haven't cast it yet, and I would like to. So, deal with it. Oh, how lucky we hit it. Alright. So some sort of weird... I don't even know what this is. I'm guessing it's a Fires deck. Probably board out Grazers. Those don't seem super important here. And then maybe shave on a Planning. I think I like the Wishclaw so far. Like, just being able to tutor up the 1 of Pier at such a low cost seems really nice. And also, finding Lotus. Like, I know that we haven't used it a whole lot this league, but it feels pretty good. Especially knowing that now I can convert it into just +1 mana whenever I want with hidden strings. That has a nice benefit to it as well. This is the first time that I'm playing the list, so I don't have all these things memorized already. I do miss the brawls a little bit, but there's just not room for them, unfortunately. Like, this deck list is pretty crowded. Unless you were to, like, not play strategic planning, but then Dig gets way worse, and I don't think that's correct. And the way that the deck is currently built is, like, creature removal just does not matter. So, assuming that we don't draw an untapped land, I think I'm supposed to play Stage into Scrying and then go get Lotus. And then set up Balget as my 4th land. Okay, that is the game plan. There it is. So I've been told that this gets what's it called? Void Winnower, and then you just lose to that, but like I don't actually know. Wonder if I should play Vizier here. Like I've yet to have somebody just like go get Void Winnower and put it into play with that thing, so like I'd like to see how that happens, I guess. The Transmorgify, maybe? They're just putting Yori under their hand. So in theory, we could try to win here. I just don't think it's a wise idea. I think we're better off just waiting and untapping. And this way we secretly have Mystical Dispute up as well. Did not use the Raven's Warning. And our opponent concedes. Must not have drawn a land, but I'll take it. We're 3-1. Yeah, let's see if we can get this last one. Wishclaw in all formats. All right, the final round of the league. We're on the play again, and let's see if we can close out strong. Now with that. Yeah, I think that's probably right. I think I value the ability to cycle Triumphs a little bit higher than speed. Next turn we go scrying into Lotus, and then cycling. I was thinking quite a bit about the Collector Brutalities, and like the more that I think about them, the more that I like them. The fact that they're control cards and aggro cards, it's just really interesting to me. That and like they're just a house against mono red. Good pickup. Alright, so now we're looking for Thespian Stage. Our opponent could be on Phoenix. I haven't actually looked at too many Pioneer Phoenix lists. Izzet Charm, one main deck Aether Gust. Not a whole lot of counter magic. Okay, I'm going to play this Triome. That might have been a little bit of a greedy cycle because it's a guaranteed extra land for this Lotus. But I also think that we're fairly likely to draw another land. Thrill of Possibility. Yep. And they're just strongly representing the Izzet charm. Hey, right on time. I just wanted to see if it said your turn on it, and it does. It's been so long since I've faced a Phoenix. And there's the Izzet charm. Come on, just tap out. It will be good for you. Third Phoenix. Opt? Not sure what this is. Quicken, maybe? I completely forgot that Cruise is legal in this format. So now they bring back Triple Phoenix, and then hopefully we win the game on our turn. I completely forgot Cruise is legal. No one plays it. Yeah, it's in this list too. I just glossed over it. Alright, so not a great draw with that. But hopefully our pores, they carry us right now. That is not carrying. That will likely do it. Okay, so now we tap for black. And then we need black for this as well. Go get Pier. Another 20 card Pier. Do we have it? We don't. So I just want to think about this for a second. So we have 2 mana floating, and then 7 here, so that's 9. 3 mana to Wishclaw would bring me down to 6. Okay, this works. We just never draw Reservoir. I feel like there's definitely a lag tonight with Magic Online. Just need to cast a few more spells. And why not cast the blue ones? They're obviously the best ones. Probably because I like burning my clock and wasting time. Alright, so we've taken game number 1 over Izzet Phoenix. I can board in disputes, probably over plannings. Not really sure what else I would do. I think that's probably good enough. I like Grazer for blocking and accelerating. So I don't think I want to board that out. It looks like our opponents are likely to board in their own copies of Mystical Dispute, Negate, Disdainful Stroke, Aether Gust. Quite a few cards. The list that I'm looking at even has a null in it, which is a lot better against the list with Wishclaw. Just throwing that out there. So they probably have a decent amount of interaction. What a lovely hand. I don't like this, but oh well. This hand is clunky. Next turn we play Balagad. Turn after that we Sylvan Scrying and pray that it resolves. Untapped land would be huge here. Could have been worse. We're not under a whole lot of pressure right now, which is sort of nice. They're pretty unlikely to have a counter for scrying there. I was thinking about playing Claw, and then I realized that like Mystical Dispute wouldn't counter it, so it'd have to be like a Spell Pierce, which isn't in most lists anyway. They took an Opt and a Charm. And we're just going to pass with Dispute up here. If we need to, we can Dispute and then copy. And like I said, we're just not under any pressure, so we don't really need to jam. Like if our opponent just passes here with 4 or 5 mana up, we can just pass. I think I'm going to let that go. I think I'm just going to play Claw and pass here. Similar to Legacy, or even Modern, we can use Wishclaw at instant speed to go get a Mystical Dispute if we need to. But it looks like they might have a Null. Yep. And I'm going to pass. Guess we try another Claw. We're not under any pressure, so you don't need to jam. Don't play into your opponent's tricks. Like, we're at a comfortable 20 life. Our opponent isn't going to kill us out of nowhere. Let's just take our draws, play tight, not play into things like Izzet Charm. Running Claws. This feels so much like Legacy, where I feel like I have the inevitability because our opponent isn't doing anything, and we're creating a board presence with Wishclaws. I love it. I forget, is Jumpstart discard a land? Or Jumpstart's any card. Retraces discard a land. So in theory, they could like Crackling Drake, Jumpstart, deal me 20. So I would go to 19 and this would deal 16. I mean, I'm fine with that. Oh no, did I just die? Because I forgot about Arclight Phoenix? Oh wow, I can't believe I just died because I completely forgot about Arclight. Oh wow, that was so dumb. That was so dumb. I can't believe that. Oh. Yeah, I don't even have a good excuse. Yikes. Ugh, that was just bad. Wow. Ugh. Opponent's taking a mulligan. So I could hold on to the Triumph to cycle it. That said, I think I want the black mana in case I draw Wishclaw Talisman, so in my opinion it's a little bit better to play out. Okay. If I get an opening, I'm not against just jamming a turn 4 Aether Flux. I guess I probably should have played a stage there. That was a mistake. Because if I draw Lotus next turn, I get punished. It's not a big thing, but like I definitely should have played stage there. I was thinking about Blooming Marsh coming in and play tapped, and I just shouldn't have been. Alright, I will cycle this Triumph. I still can't believe that I just completely forgot about Phoenix last game. Young Pyromancer. Let's counter that. They don't need Ancestral Recall. Don't love Grazer here. Jeez. Get back to Dispute. I just don't think I want to play the Grazer. I don't know what I gain by doing that. This Phoenix deck does not seem very fast. Maybe it's just my opponent's draws, but I remember it being much faster, at least in Modern. I'm just going to let that go. So I could dispute and then they could dispute back, and that's just not worth it to me. I think I'm going to stage copying Triome. So they probably have a dispute here if they're willing to do this. Really? That seems odd. So this plays through Izzet Charm. If they have the other annul, it gets countered. Oh, I forgot about the one of Disdainful Stroke. Alright, so in order to win this game, we will have to bail get back our Reservoir or cast Omniscience into the approach win. Yeah. It's a big Drake, and I don't have anything, so it's pretty scary to me. Okay, step 1. Let's find Lotus. I mean, technically it's Lotus, but we really needed it untapped. So not only do we need to not die, we have to draw an action spell next turn. We haven't seen any digs or pores yet, but I'm not liking our odds right now. We have to beat a dispute. We don't have our Lotus Field copied. Missed land drop. Draw pour. Come on. Come on. Pour, 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 pour. Probably dead now. And it's all because I misplayed game 2. It's a bummer. I just like blanked. There is a cost to recording and talking through all your lines, unfortunately. Like, I don't know if that's something that would have happened if I wasn't narrating, but instead we're going to finish this league 3-2, unfortunately. That was just like a dumb punt. Should be pretty easy for our opponent to deal us damage here. So this, they can cast Hazard. That is 15, 16, 17 with Phoenix. Yeah, we're just dead. Kind of a bummer. It's also like turn 9 and I never drew a real action spell. Just kill me. Come on. I am dead. Alright. So I want to draw my top card and then we'll go back to the deck list. No top card for me. Okay. Let's go back to the deck list. Get that out of here. No one wants to see that. It's shameful. 3-2. Alright, so I actually thought the Wishclaws were decent. We didn't see a whole lot of them this league, but just like having access to Pure for 1 mana was just beautiful. I don't think I'd change that. I did notice the lack of Brawl a little bit. Like, our deck just doesn't make as much mana. That said, it never mattered. So I don't know how relevant that actually is. It seems pretty difficult to Masterminds for Approach and then cast Approach twice without Omniscience. But maybe that doesn't matter. I'm not sure. I just don't have enough reps with this list to really know. Yeah, I don't have strong opinions on that. And if this is Mastermind's acquisition, maybe it could be Thassa's Oracle. Just because when you're casting Pure, you can usually draw the rest of your deck out. So maybe this should actually be a Thassa's Oracle. I'm not positive on that, but that's entirely possible. Yeah. The Ugin came up once, which was pretty cool, just because we couldn't get to that magical omniscience number. Something to keep in mind. And I do want to try Collective Brutality. I think that would be pretty sweet. If you have any thoughts or suggestions on this deck list to make it better, feel free to let me know. Don't just say cut black. I'm experimenting here. You have to push the boundaries in order to, make an advancement. I think no Fae is definitely correct. I feel pretty strongly about that. And I've only done that through experimentation. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and at this point I'm just rambling, so I'm going to end it. But I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, I just said that. I'm just going to go. Goodbye. Have a great day. Hey, Bryant Cook here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, but also follow the social media channels down below. If you want to support this content directly, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/shop. And if you need a little bit of assistance with the Epic Storm to get to that next level, I would recommend going to theepicstorm.com/tutoring. Don't worry, there's more great content coming right up.